Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Healing Space. I'm your host, Maya Soul. Over the last several episodes, we've explored communication, emotional needs, misunderstandings, dating challenges, accountability, and the many reasons men and women sometimes struggle to connect, which brings us to an important question. Can men and women ever truly understand each other? It's a question that has been asked for generations. Some people would say no. They believe men and women are simply too different, too emotionally different, too mentally different. But I believe the real answer is a little more nuanced because the goal of healthy relationships isn't perfect understanding. The goal is a willingness to understand. Let's think about that for a moment. No two people will ever fully understand each other. Not completely, not perfectly, not all the time. Even people who have been married for decades still discover new things about one another. Why? Because human beings are constantly growing, changing, healing, learning, and evolving. Understanding isn't a destination, it's a process. The challenge comes when people expect their partner to think exactly like they do, to react exactly like they do, to process emotion exactly like they do, to communicate exactly like they do. But healthy relationships are not built on sameness. They're built on respect for differences. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that understanding means agreement. It doesn't. You can understand someone's feeling without agreeing with their behavior. You can understand someone's perspective without sharing their opinion. Or you can understand someone's experience without having lived it yourself. Understanding is not about becoming identical, it's about becoming aware. For example, a woman may never fully understand what it feels like to grow up being told to hide emotions and always be strong. A man may never fully understand what it feels like to constantly navigate concerns about emotional safety, vulnerability, or being misunderstood. But both people can choose to listen. Both people can choose empathy. Both people can choose curiosity. And that's where connection begins. The truth is that many relationship problems don't happen because people are unwilling to love. They happen because people are unwilling to learn. Learning requires humility. It requires admitting that your perspective isn't the only perspective. It requires acknowledging that another person's experience may be different from your own. And sometimes that's difficult, especially when we're hurt, especially when we're frustrated. But healthy relationships require us to remain open, open to learning, open to listening. Another thing that prevents understanding is assumption. Many people assume they know why someone did something. They assume they know what someone meant. They assume they know what someone is feeling. And assumption often create distance because assumptions remove curiosity. Instead of asking questions, we create answers. Instead of seeking clarity, we create stories. And sometimes those stories are completely wrong. One of the most powerful relationship skills anyone can develop is the ability to stay curious. Curiosity sounds like, help me understand. Can you tell me more about that? What was that experience like for you? What did you mean when you said that? Question create connection. Assumption creates separation. Let's also talk about empathy. Empathy doesn't mean fixing someone's pain. It means sitting beside them long enough to understand it. Many people enter conversation trying to defend themselves, trying to explain themselves, trying to prove their point. But empathy asks us to pause, to listen, to understand before responding. That doesn't mean abandoning your perspective. It means making room for someone else's. Now let's be honest, there will always be differences between people, differences in communication, differences in emotional expression. The goal isn't to eliminate those differences. The goal is to learn how to navigate them with respect. Healthy relationships aren't built by people who never misunderstand each other. They're built by people who are committed to working through misunderstandings when they happen, as we've discussed throughout this season. Men and women are not enemies. They're not opponents. They're not competing teams. Most people are simply trying to be loved, valued, understood, and accepted. And when we remember that, it becomes easier to approach each other with grace. Can men and women ever truly understand each other? Maybe not completely, but they can understand each other far more than they do now if they're willing to listen, learn, communicate, and grow together, Taya. Are you trying to understand the people you love? Or are you trying to get them to understand only your perspective? Until next time, keep healing, keep growing, and most importantly, keep choosing yourself